Good morning, everyone. And this is a nice, cool morning. And cold weather is unseasonably so, but it's giving us a taste of fall. So, are there any things that people are doing to get ready for fall? Now, this week I'm going to be posting a video about the fire cider I made. Let me test my. Okay, that's good. It's on the right way. I had to test my mirror because in one of these two books. Okay, that's not that. I did a lot. Good morning, Katie. I did a lot of research on the things that I put into my fire cider. Good morning, Brandon. Hey, Bobby. And when you make things for medicinal reasons, you should know what the benefits are of the items that you're putting in. Now, I couldn't get any cayenne peppers. So I replaced the cayenne peppers with serrano peppers and jalapeno peppers. So I'm going to tell you if you got paper and pencil ready, I'm going to tell you what I put in it and why. Okay, good morning, Nubs. First thing I put in was turmeric. And the reason why it's a potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-neogenic. In other words, it's capable of reducing the frequency of DNA mutations, helps fight cancers, and it's antimicrobial agent and anti-cancer agent. Okay, garlic. The main reasons why I put garlic in is because it's antifungal, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-hypertensive, antiviral, anti-cancer, etc. And it boosts, the main thing is it boosts the immune system. Oh boy. You have a horseradish. It aids digestion, reduces bloating, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, immune support, and possible cancer prevention. Now, jalapeno, and this is because of the capsaicin agents in it. It's pain relief, anti-inflammatory, and immune support. Serrano peppers boost immunity, antioxidant, metabolic. In other words, it boosts your metabolism. I have onions in it, and I didn't use red onion, but I did use yellow onion. Antioxidant, antibacterial, boosts immunity system, reduces risk of some cancers, and it's a prebiotic content. Limes. Yep. Limes are antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, supports immune system, stress reducer. This is why do they have to make those so dang hard, like literally. You look at them, chemical compounds in plants, and you need a master's degree to read them, LOL. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I remember that, Andy. Okay, lemon. This is, but I'm telling you about my formula. Lemon, it boosts iron absorptions and antioxidants and antibacterial. Of course, it does boost immune with vitamin C. Now, here's the important one that I didn't see anybody else putting in theirs. Is raw pineapple. Do not use cooked pineapple or you won't get the bromelain in it, which is reduces inflammation. In other words, it's a pain reliever. It reduces inflammation from injury or surgery. But it has natural anti-inflammatory enzyme, which is bromelain, which reduces, and it has vitamin C and it boosts the support immune system. Thyme treats respiratory ailments, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial. Now, sage boosts memory, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory. Rosemary, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antiviral. Well, I'm going to have a video out on it this week. I did the video, and at the end of the video, I'm going to have this all posted too. And then clove. Cloves are antimicrobial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, antioxidant, and boost the immune system. Now, cinnamon. In each half-gallon jar, I've got at least 1 stick of cinnamon. It's blood sugar regulation, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, boost metabolism, antifungal, antibacterial, wound healing abilities, and anti-cancer potential. And then, of course, it's all in apple cider vinegar with the mother. Now, everybody uses the expensive Bragg's. I'll show you what I use. Mother Earth vinegar with mother, raw, unfiltered, unpasteurized. And that was not as expensive as Bragg's was. Well, the thing is, if the peels are clean, nubs, if the peels are clean, they're very good. But if they've got any kind of mold or anything like that on it, you got to cut all that. You got to get rid of it. But the peels is where a lot of concentration of vitamins. Okay, let me see what cinnamon I used. It's from Amazon, and it does not tell me what type of cinnamon it is. It only says distributed by Amazon. You have to call the 1-800 number to find out. But it's what I had, and that's why I use it. Good morning, Christopher and Angela. Well, this one here, the one that I got, Mother Earth, I got it on Amazon because I was price checking and everything else. Yeah, it regulates it helps your body regulate your sugar, plus a few other things. But what we were talking about is what all I put into my fire cider. Yeah, the apple cider vinegar has the mother in it. And I tell you what, after I did all that chopping and dicing and running it through the mill, it took until last night before I recuperated from it. But whatever you decide to put into your fire cider, make sure you check and see what it is and what's the benefits and what warnings may be in it. The only real warning I've seen was on the horseradish and a couple other things was that too much of it will upset your stomach. But the fire cider dosage, some say wait 4 weeks, some say 6 weeks, where you rotate it daily. And the dosage of fire cider is 1 or 2 tablespoons a day. And you don't have to drink that down. You can add it to your tea or whatever. No, that's not what I've never heard that. Well, it's all the people don't realize how many parasites human beings have. You got the liver fluke. Well, then you got all the ones. We are more bacteria and parasites than we are, quote, actual human. Now, see, I used raw pineapple in mine, Andy. If your pineapple, 100% pineapple juice was raw, then it would have bromine in it. The bromine doesn't survive the heat that it takes for canning. But see, I'm making I made a batch for myself and a batch for my daughter and my son, grandson. You got that right, Andy. America is too, yeah, I'm not going to say it. So is there anything else that you do to get ready for fall? Yes, Nubs, from your findings, he says, and from his findings, parasites, bacteria, and viruses are the number one cause for human peril. But you know, it's without those same without parasites, bacteria, and viruses, you wouldn't be able to live either. Because they digest your food for you and everything else. So, yeah, I've got a slow thyroid myself. But with everything that's put in there, um, it'll help boost your immune system. In other words, it will help keep the good bugs going and get rid of the bad bugs. Put it that way. Well, Nubs, you can't believe everything you hear and only half of what you see. That is how I run. If I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it good and strong. I mean, I use a half a horseradish in it. Since I didn't have the strength to stand there and grate it by hand, I put it through my little chopper. And I'm turning my jar at least once a day, sometimes twice. But I put the pineapple in last. I put that right on top of all the other stuff. I should go get one of the jars and show it to you guys. Echo light on. Okay. Echo light off. So you guys see, there's a half a piece of pineapple right there. The yellow lemons. Everything is. See, the orange stuff is not carrot. That's turmeric. And you got onion slices in there. All that grated horseradish and garlic. I mean, I got so much stuff in here. Good morning, Katie. But my hands hurt so bad yesterday after doing it. I had to use a prescription pain medicine. And I don't like doing that. And I was totally exhausted. Pain, when you're in a lot of pain, you can get really exhausted. Well, Andy, I figure like this. The more surface area it has to mix in with the vinegar, the better it is. I want to make sure all the stuff got in good. And what is chopped the finest is horseradish, everything. Now, I had a horseradish that was that big. And I used about that much of it in 2 of them. The rest I have in the refrigerator. It's already been peeled. I had to peel it. It smelled moldy, so I had to peel off the mold and wash it. And I washed everything in distilled vinegar mixture. Half distilled vinegar and half water. And a clean dish rag. And that's what I washed everything with. You know, Katie, I feel like this. When you want something bad enough, you'll do whatever you have to get it done. And that's how I am. I mean, my daughter is still eating on her garlic honey. I got to make more of that up. I got enough garlic now that I can make that up. But since I don't have local honey, I put it in buckwheat honey. Let's see. No, Andy, I didn't. I didn't feel like hauling that heavy thing out to where I could use it, to be honest. And I was limited on space on where I was videoing. Let me look something up here. Okay, I use buckwheat honey when I'm do it. And antioxidants protect against cell damage caused by free radicals, reducing the risk of chronic disease such as heart disease and cancer. Antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and it can help your cardiovascular by lowering cholesterol levels and reducing oxidative stress. It's immune support. It's a prebiotic naturally. It has. It's a good source of vitamins and minerals, including iron, manganese, and potassium. It lowers glycemic index than regular honey, making it a suitable choice for people with diabetes. but I like it better than I do regular honey. Well, yeah, put it in with buckwheat honey, and you'll love it. You do the. I think I'm going to do garlic, ginger, and horseradish and rosemary in my honey this year. Because both the ginger and the horseradish will work together on helping opening up the lungs and helping immunity system. Same with rosemary. Yeah, if you have local raw honey, that's good. But if you want some added benefits, you would get some buckwheat honey too with it. Now, mine came all the way from Canada when I bought it a couple years ago. And in fact, I'd have to see exactly where my container of honey is. Okay, I think it's over there. But I bought a 5 pounder, and I've got maybe it's at least half empty. See, the people locally I used to get the honey from don't have the hives anymore. In fact, I don't even know if they're even around anymore. And if you had somebody that had elderberry honey, in other words, in other words, somebody whose bees focused on the elderberry trees and bushes, that would give you added immunity. Little kid across the street yelling. I haven't been to the local flea market for a couple of years. Yeah, because Andy, you want to add your elderberries to your fire cider or to your holistic honey, as Katie calls it. So, as tempting as they are to eat right away, put them in with the mother to get it started. I think after it ages, when I strain it out, I'll put some slices of oranges in it then, but not until, because that's more just for a flavor boost. And don't put your honey in it until you get ready to put it in the refrigerator. Oh, wow. 10 foot high on the side of a steep mountain. She needs to hire some kids to climb up that tree and pick them. Good morning, game birds. See, I don't have any of that around here, Andy, for me to go pick. And the city ticks me off again. After they tore down that building on the opposite quarter, well, they cut out the mulberry tree. They cut out all but the black walnut tree. Whether it's Southern Springs, okay, game bird, game fowl and gardens. Who are you? Because you know my secret. Yeah, well, Andy, you know you can get a cutting, or Katie can get a cutting from the elderberry trees and have them put them in water and let them reroot. I know where one other mulberry tree is. And I got to do some picking today because part of a tree that is showing in the alleyway has some fruit on it. Kind of looks like apricots, but they say it's cherry plum or something like that. Okay, Willy Willy. The one that's been going live a lot lately that I haven't been able to go to. Let's see. I did them both. Hey, Nightbot's getting fancier. Franklin, it's sunny with the temperature of 65. It was only about 50 when I got up. The wind's blowing from the east at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 58%. In West Plains, the conditions are sunny with temperature of 71. The wind is blowing from the east, 6 miles per hour, and humidity is 67%. I know. Remember before, Nightbot would get confused by too many orders so close together. Katie, I'm going to do my political speaking during this part, and then that's going to be it. Is they cut down all the fruit bearing stuff. They killed off that apple tree that I found. They sprayed it with something that killed it. And they cut down the walnut trees and all the other trees, but they left the mulberry trees and all the other little trees here. But they left the black walnut that is encapsulated by trumpeter vines. I agree. And then they put the trees they plant here. They put these useless trees. They just they want to go with ornamental BS instead of functional BS stuff. Exactly. Now we're going to drop the subject. Katie. All right, Carolina Holmes said, behave, Willie. Oh, I had got to calm down a little bit. We went off on a little bit of a political rant. Well, see, they don't like mulberry trees because the birds eat them and they poop on their fancy cars. My boys got killed by overrunning of water from a gutter washout. But my Malabar is, I got one out of three of them that are just barely struggling. But my Malabar spinach is doing good. And it's almost harvest time for my sweet potatoes. No, poke is actually very good, Andy. Poke, if you know how to clean it, it's good. Poke berries are medicinable, just don't ingest the seeds. The seeds are where the poison is. But it's just like oh, I'm trying to think of the flower. It's a little purple flower with a bright yellow inner parts. You have to be careful with poke. Um, you can have two or three. You have to try one seed. One berry at a time. Just don't let your kids get hold of it. That's the main thing. Because kids are going to crunch through the seeds and everything. Welcome back, PJ. Sometimes potty breaks can give you a surprise, so that's understandable. Either that or you could have got a phone call. But are you allowed to have those game birds and game fowls in South Carolina? Ah, you waited on your order at Dunkin' Donuts? You have a blessed day, Katie, and you can watch it when they go to. You can watch the rest when they go to bed, dear. Cool, PJ. I hope everything works out. Um, Another thing, did your job situation get straightened out, or do you have to go back to New York to get that worked out? You know, if you want, you and Bubby can come up. Just let me know, and I'll drop you the link. Yeah, North Carolina. Okay, game birds. I mean, okay, Willie. Yeah, Carolina kind fan. I keep thinking it's South Carolina, but it's North Carolina. I hope it all works out for you, PJ. I really do. Well, when you get home, let me know, and I'll drop you the link. Because Willie, I know they've been going after you hard about some things. So cover your butt when you can. Oh boy. Gamer propaganda permit is $12 and $5 processing fee, and you're getting NPIP. Wonderful. I'm glad you got your LLC too now too. That'll get those idiots off your back some. Oh, you got some peacock eggs coming too? That's great. How bad of a winter do you get in North Carolina? Oh my goodness, Sandy. Celebrate and enjoy the quiet. Now, if they ever shut the music off here, I could have quiet. But they don't shut it off till about 10:30 at night, at 10 o'clock at night. I understand, Willie. I understand. Good morning, Joseph. Weather in Lawton is conditions cloudy with temperature of 72. The wind is blowing from the east northeast at 4 miles per hour. Current humidity is 90%, so you got storms close by or rain close by. Did you get a cool down, Joseph? I think it was last night, it got down to 46 degrees. But I left my one window open. I got to send an email to the landlord, tell him to come get this air conditioner. Because it is just too cold. Yeah, you did get some rain and it cooled down. Oh, oh, I'm sending you all the blessings I can, PJ. That is wonderful. 4 acres, entirely fenced in with separate pasture area and enclosed chicken coop. Oh, that is wonderful. I would try asking Christopher, the dinosaur omelet. He may know where you can get some. But if everything else is all right, PJ, then you'll have time to work on the house as you get everything set up. It's just like what Katrina's going through. She had to have a lot of work done on her house with her 60 acres. She had to jack her house up and everything, level it. There you go, Willie. There's a few farms in Missouri that has pheasants if you want shipping. Oh boy. Well, at least in bedroom. Didn't the inspector come out and look at it yet? And he says if the outbuilding is good, then the house don't matter. Well, you probably need a new roof, and you may have to gut the kitchen and redo the kitchen. Well, they better give you an as is good price, I would say. Yep. I would fix the roof first have somebody do an inspection to find out what damages are in there so you know what's safe. PJ. Because if bad goes to worse, you can just tear down the house and have a new one built. Or if they let you, you can have a prefab home on it. So you're thinking about going to Arizona, Willie? Things are really getting strange nowadays. I'm not even going to repeat that, Willie. I don't need any more. I don't need any trouble on my. I like keeping things down on a low key. Less chance of people watching me to find out what I'm doing. Then you shouldn't be smoking it. You should be eating it instead. And I don't know what the last stages of COPD is because I have COPD. I'll be right back. I need to get me some more coffee. Okay, well, I got some bad news. My egg source is starting to dry up because they don't believe on making their chickens lay all the time. I understand what you're saying, Willie. My body just tells me, I mean, the doctors advised me 40 years ago to move to the desert. Yeah, Andy, I agree 100%. That is good for the chickens, but it's bad for me. Willie, are they saying your lungs are pushing on your diaphragm yet? If you had X-ray, they tell you that your lungs are going into your diaphragm, then that's I had that for quite a few, 6 or 7 years. But that's life. You live until you don't. Thing is to enjoy your life because tomorrow's not. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So you live every day the best you can. I don't take any medicines for my COPD. Mine's asthma that turned into COPD. I don't take any medicines for it because any of the medicines they want to give me has steroids in it, and I'm deathly allergic to steroids. So if my lungs can't survive on their own, I don't survive. But I don't focus on it. I try to focus on what I can do instead. I mean, I got 2 half-gallon jars of fire cider, and that about wiped me out. I did all but the pineapple one day. The next day, yesterday, after the pain medicines kicked in and everything, I was able to do the pineapple. Exactly. Now, the only thing I wish I had that I didn't have to put in it was some mullein, because mullein heals your lungs. So I need to get some mullein herb. Well, Willie, I'm going to be honest. I don't have any faith in the medical field itself. Oh, wow, PJ. Goat farms all over. Oh, man, I wish I lived close to you, PJ. Cause I would love some good fresh goat's milk. I've wanted a goat ever since I was 10 years old. That's when I first tasted goat's milk. Well, it looks like you've been having problems all around this week. But I think Weed 'em and Reap has a good way for raising goats. And that is when you hybrid raise them, where they're half on their mother's milk and half on bottles. Time to change doctors, Willie. That's all I have to say about that. My doctors know me better than to try something like that on me. This isn't 1950s and 60s. This isn't Nevada, where they can do that. No. Even when I'm in the hospital, if I get put in a hospital, they're not allowed to give me anything without me knowing it, what it is and why they're doing it. Was it a Billy or a nanny that butted you? And there is a way to break animals of doing that. You have to take them down and hold them down where they can't move to show them who's boss. But my doctors and even my psychiatrist knows that if I absolutely can't do it myself, then I'll ask for help. But otherwise, yeah. What, it was a billy goat, Willie? And if I remember, never mind. Backtrack. Let's get back to what are you doing to prepare for fall? Because Because to prepare for fall, you got to know what all you got to do to get ready for winter. Is she getting close to dropping a kid? That could be why she was that way. But anyhow, go back to is anybody else getting ready to make fire ciders? And I know some areas you're going to have to beef up your fencing and stuff to protect against the wild animals that are going to be looking for easy food. Yeah, new generator, got all propane tanks filled, and rolled the garden up. Okay. Are you going to make any fresh and maybe add some other things to it, Andy? And did your fire cider form a mother on it? Willie, what does she do? You have a blessed day, Joseph. Enjoy your breakfast and give that daughter a hug. How much do you have left, Andy? Yeah, because you want to, you don't want to wait until you run out to start the new batch. Let me check something here. How many tablespoons are in an ounce? Okay, 2 tablespoons is an ounce. So that's right. So you take a shot of fire cider, and you can add a little honey to it and drink it straight down, or you can add it to some hot tea and drink it down. 64 ounces is a half a gallon. So if you have 32 ounces left, you got a quart. Because it's 128 ounces in a gallon, 64 and a half gallon. And I made 2 half-gallon jugs. That's why I know. Oh, Willie. See, what I would do different than what you're doing, Willie, is you see how Matt's homestead is set up, how everything is compartmentalized so it can work. Well, see, you need to watch Read 'em and Weep, Willie, because she's in Arizona. She has an acre and she can show you how to do it where you don't have to worry so much about that head button and stuff. It means you have to do more hands-on. But see, Andy, if you used raw pineapple juice, in other words, you made your own out of a raw pineapple, you would have pain relief along with the immune boosters. So I've got half a pineapple. I have to do up. Then why are you getting NPIP if you're going to move to Arizona? Well, time for me to get a coffin nail. Okay, you're going with Hugo Offray. And you know, Andy, the only way I can drink orange juice is if I mix it half and half with pineapple juice. Willie, I'm not going in there on what your comment is. If you want to talk in private about that, reach out to me on Facebook. But no matter where you live, you're going to have haters. You just don't let them control your life. And you watch what you run your mouth on. Don't let everybody know what you think. Some thoughts are not meant to be shared. And anybody that puts themselves out into the public eye like we do, yes, you're going to have haters. But back on to haters don't pay your bills, haters don't cause you bills, and they don't run your life. Don't give them any more power than you want. The more you let them control you, the more power they have over you. Yeah, there's also another attitude you have to take. What people think about you is none of your business because everything's done on their perception. It's what they perceive. You and I both can look at watch the same exact thing and see things differently. Well, that's enough about your problems, Willie. I'm sorry, but you have to figure out what you're going to do and what part you should keep out of everybody's eyes. Guard your own secrets. Anyhow, let's get back to fall. I know, Andy, you have to get your quail house done before winter hits. Well, people walking by talking. And I know a lot of people with like goats and that they're going to be, if they're not breeding, they're going to be getting things ready for when the kids come. And the weather's cooling off now that most people will start breeding their rabbits because the cooler weather means better breeding. Really, sometimes you have to shield some of those pages. Fall planting starts today. Yeah, yep, it's time to get those radishes and lettuce and that stuff in. Collard greens, the colder the weather gets, the sweeter the collard greens and kale, the sweeter the vegetable. I've got to pick a lot of my Malabar spinach, and I think I'm going to blanch them, put some in the freezer. I may bring that plant in during the winter if I can find a place for it. It's combine cutting season for the game fowl. Oh, it's comb cutting season for the game fowl. I didn't know you cut the combs. I don't know much about game fowl, except for the ones that used to visit me when I lived in Oregon, Ohio. I had a pheasant that would come visit. And I think pheasants are more beautiful than peacocks, in my opinion. Now, Willie, do you follow Farmer's Almanac? Let me get the link here. It'll take me a minute. Let's see if they post in there or not. No, I didn't post it. Let me get the shorten the link. Okay. Here's the link to Planning According to the Moon. And I learned that as a young kid about the ant hills, Willie. Because when they double up and all the ants are trying to go into the ant hill, that's a sign flood's coming or heavy rain. We're down to 4 people. PJ, are you still here? Bubby still here? Andy, are you still here? Anybody that's still here, can you please give me hey? I don't think it's so much your breath as it is the energy you brought in. Well, you have a blessed day, Willie. And since nobody's remarking that they're still here, I think I'll call this an end of the day too. So everybody have a blessed day. And remember to be prepared for what's okay, Andy, then I don't have to leave. Ah. You gotta wait a little longer, Lucy. Come here. You haven't said hello to everybody. Come on up. Up, up. Yes, that's a good girl. There, now you can say hi to everybody. I was hoping PJ would be able to come up. Oh, you're talking to someone? Okay. But Lucy's here, as you can see. But since we've quieted down so much, I think I'm going to have to let everybody go. So everybody have a blessed day. And I'm going to try to go live during the week some evening. It's going to be a sudden live. So have a blessed day and see you hopefully tomorrow at Matt's. And just remember, be prepared.